What's going on, cultivators? Today we're going to be looking at a big picture perspective on Grace to Cultivate LLC. I want to just kind of cast vision for what I hope Grace to Cultivate will become. This presentation next week is planning. I want to plan to do it for the 1 million cups, and I thought it'd be really cool to share it with you, those who subscribe to the YouTube channel, and to kind of do a dry run, if you will. In brief, we are a company designed to cultivate happier teachers and better students. That's the goal of this company and where I want it to go. Um, Special thanks to 1 Million Cups for allowing entrepreneurs to come to the table and sit and gather around 1 million cups around the world. I think that's the general big picture vision of it. Shout out to Kingdom Culture Media, who plans to record the actual event that will happen on next Wednesday. And so that's going to be at 9 a.m. And so I want to use that presentation for digital content. This is just kind of say a drive run and for you, the person who is tuned in and dialed in. I appreciate you. In brief, I want to say that teachers deserve to be paid more and can be through creative yet ethical means of entrepreneurship. Right, and that's kind of the thesis of everything that I want to put together. But that teachers can and they deserve to be paid more and can be through creative yet ethical means of entrepreneurship. In other words, happier teacher make better students. Happier teachers make better students. Um, so, uh, Examining the problem, I think one aspect of any type of vision cast is to look at an actual problem. What is the problem that I think that this particular business addresses, and the proposed solution that we're trying to engage. And the first is what I would say is the teacher pay problem. Right, you just open any newspaper, you flip and scroll through your timeline. You hear about teachers striking, people leaving the workforce every day, and part of that reason, not all of that reason, has to do with teacher pay. And so the proposed solution doesn't provide a gross jump, but it does propose a solution that I think would be able to create value for teachers and to help out in a general sense. The next one is being able to positively impact students in high need areas. That's a big part of what this partnership hopefully will look like, and a big picture of what that would look like. And last but not least, one other solution that this business seeks to engage is the employee retention that comes from leaders in organizations, nonprofit and for profit, taking time out to be intentional about developing their employees with things similar to what I want to present. All right, and so the proposed solution is a business that empowers teachers to lead professional leadership and team builder workshops in schools and in corporations. And that's the proposed solution. What does that look like practically? Well, the future goal is a business that I want to create called Push Leadership Consulting, and kind of give you a visual of it. I'm thinking half of it will be full-time operational staff, and then we want to do contracting with current teachers. And the thought process is it's kind of like a ride share model for teachers, similar to Uber and Lyft. And our target audience will be engaging schools, AVID or TRIO programs, school support, school sports teams, excuse me, for coaches that look beyond sports, for companies and nonprofits. Leadership and personality assessment trainings is all of those will be tied into what that push leadership consulting would do. My story, I jokingly say this, but there's some truth to it. Is that I'm a former social studies teacher that failed educational politics, and what I mean by that is love teaching, have a great desire to teach and to impact the lives of young people, but I was asked to do some things in terms of grading that I thought were unethical, that were uh, steeped in nepotism and more so focusing on a certain group of kids, not all of the kids. And it led to a lot of resignation. And I think seeing different ways in which students can be enriched even outside of the classroom, thinking about organizations and what I am presenting today. Currently, my full-time job, I'm a life advisor at Oliver Gospel Mission Homeless Shelter, YA fiction author. I was featured in the recent or the January Kirkus Review Journal, which goes out to different librarians as an independent writer. I'm going to be launching a series in January. That's the target date. It's called Richard Freeman Teenage Entrepreneur, and helping students with financial literacy and entrepreneurial imagination through storytelling is the whole gist of it. Then I have another series that I want to work on putting out the following year called The Backstories of the Trampoline Academy, similar to Chronicles of Narnia, but set in the inner city. And so I want to kind of focus on those things. When we talk about leadership workshops at school, when I'm talking to school districts, what it's called is an artistic engagement with social and emotional learning. And so basically an artist in residence, kind of for those who are more traditional like myself, an artist in residence. And with the workshops that I do, I focus on study skills, note taking strategy, and the vehicle that I engage with all those things is through life skills. Also, I partner with different groups that are working with young people who are getting to the place that students are getting ready to get into the workforce. Workplace professionalism is a need, and providing that through workshops as well. And for those who are creatives and who like to do their own publishing, I share the self publishing process. What is it like to self publish in a digital era? Um, the economics of this business. Basically, we're treating teachers as contractors and not just salaried employees, right? And so, what that looks like is partnerships in after school programs, partnerships over the summer months with different organizations and businesses, and during their PTO and the times that they have off and their breaks and things of that nature, providing creative revenue stream that will enrich the lives of young and old, really. Um, what do the economics of this look like? I encourage people to do a web search to look at South Carolina's state government website, revenue per pupil per school district, and you see the annual school disbursement, local, federal, and state. On average, the regular school district total is about 15,535. That's on the regular. On the high end, recent one, you're looking at like 22,000. On the low end, you're looking at about 10,000, give or take. And so, what I do is I charge about $15 per student, and so that's what our numbers look like. Compare that to going to an NBA game or theme park or rideshare meal or the movie tickets that you see right here. And not only is it comparable, I think we do pretty well, and I think it's something that there's a long term takeaway from the sessions. I cap it at $1,000. Recently, I got an opportunity to present to a gymnasium full of students, so maybe 150, 200 kids. That, if you're looking at the disbursement per student, it would be a lot more than that, right? But I think that's a solid at least starter in looking at 1,000 per session and 700 in multiple sessions. The economics of this business part two. When we talk about corporate partnerships, you look at those who do coaching for a variety of different corporations and organizations and things of that nature. Individual coaching range, you look at 150 to 400 bucks, and this is just kind of general estimates based upon the market. Also, what we would charge is something like $15 plus a resources fee for any type of books or anything like that. The small group analysis and the workshops for large groups, right, can range from $1,000 to $5,000. Our brand, like I said, I want to stay at least right now. Initially, is 1,000 one session, 700 multiple. The economics of this business, part three. How would economics benefit the teachers specifically? If you're like me, you come to the table. Well, how will this help teachers? We're talking about teachers. Well, what we would do specifically for teachers and why I think we would have a faithful partnership with them is we would create value by facilitating their partnerships, meaning that teachers want to teach, they want to be in the classroom with their students. And so a lot of the legwork, that's what our business would do to facilitate current and future partnerships, also the training of how to do these leadership workshops. A lot of teachers want to get certified, the strength finders. Anybody who's going into personality assessments, they can be kind of high. And so our business model can work to alleviate that load for our teachers, but also prompt payments. A lot of times, when you are dealing with any major structured entity, it may take 30 days, 60 days or more to get paid on anything. And so, as an organization, the goal would be to try to pay those teachers promptly with the additional income with doing the leadership workshops. And so the teacher payout right now is would be about a third. So if you look at that breakdown right there, that's what $1,000 session. The teacher payout would be a third going, a little bit less than a third going to operations, to taxes, and to teacher payout. The goal number of workshops, well, that's at the capacity level of the teacher partner. The teacher partner wants to do a lot of different workshops, hey, feel free. But this is what that looks like. I think even a really highly motivated teacher probably could take home an additional 10,000, which I think can help and create value based upon what they're seeking and desiring to do. And I think it would be a great opportunity to pay them for their time, and that's what the economics of the business would look like. What is Grace to Cultivate today as is? Well, right now it's a proof of concept business. Our why, the way that I try to frame it, and one of the reasons why it's Grace to Cultivate and then it'll be Push is that Grace to Cultivate, that's my blog, my brand, my personal ethic. And so it's, I believe that the Triune Guide and many others have invested deeply into my life. And how do I use that to love neighbor as self? How do I do that as it pertains to vocation? And so how do we help the next generation work smarter and not just harder? That skill building, career development, entrepreneurship is kind of the through line of all of our products, service, digital content. And if you want to check us out, we're on pretty much every social media for the most part with at Grace to Cultivate, and check that out. But currently, I'm the only worker. It's just a blog right now. Artist, author in residence. I do digital content. I do leadership workshops. Currently, we have about 20 developing school partnerships here throughout South Carolina. And so, for example, I have did 7 sessions at are doing or in scheduled to do 7 sessions with Hayward Gibbs in Richland One. I am scheduled to by the time I actually present this, I would have done a presentation for the students at Eau Claire High School. And so, like, there are several different partnerships that are developing, and it's just been a great journey, great run so far. And my goal is to be able to grow it to scale. And so, Push Leadership is the growing it to scale. Grace to Cultivate is the starting phase. Um, right now, what is my transition goal? I'm thinking 70,000 in annual gross revenue pre-tax. After taxes, that goes down significantly. Looking at a revenue amount of 5 to 6 thousand monthly, with different professional settings and a variety of different entrepreneurial endeavors. About 75 school partnerships. After that, I want to get a Strength Finder certification and pursue other leadership accolades that allow me to be able to create value for teachers. How can you help today? If you know of any schools, TRIO programs, AVID, I think we would be a great fit for vocational rehab. Also, coaches. And so, being able to sit down and have those conversations, if you need personal character references, I can give that to you. And you're going to be purchasing a book, right? And so, you can purchase a book. I really appreciate that. Leave an Amazon review. I would really appreciate that. Consider subscribing to the Grace to Cultivate YouTube channel. My goal is to capture dynamic and diverse professionals. Right now, we have about 33 episodes where we have different careers with all people who have a desire to help people in communities of color, but also just in tougher areas, that sort of thing. But I just want to present a dynamic and diverse leadership, right? Professional leadership that runs the gamut of skill building, career development, entrepreneurship. Or you can email me directly at zach@gracetocultivate.com, and you can be added to my newsletter. In summary, teachers deserve to be paid more, and they can be through creative yet ethical means of entrepreneurship. Cut across the field, happier teachers make better students. The problems that I think that this business addresses is low teacher pay, creative solutions for high need students, and employee retention and leadership development. The proposed solution is a business that empowers teachers to lead professional leadership organizations and, a business that empowers teachers, and it should say also youth workers, to lead professional leadership and team builder workshops in schools and in organizations. And so the hope is to grow it from Grace to Cultivate LLC to the Push Leadership Network or Consulting Group. All right. I thank you for your time. If you have any questions, feel free to email or send a link or respond back to the whatever you're seeing this video being played, or you can email me directly at Zach at gracetocultivate.com as seen here. All right, it's a great day, and I do appreciate you guys, and I do believe that there's grace to cultivate. Have a good day.